here on Sunday, so
hey, we're
getting really familiar.
Deal.
Yeah, no big deal. Hey, gets the information across. So we are back in that live fire oddball, still versus Waystation versus Worriers, and right now it looks like round one is just close to wrapping up, 82 seconds and counting.
Yeah, and it was off the start. It was, I believe, before we had the reset, just to reset everyone. I think it was 21 blue, 5 red.
Yes.
So a good start for the blue team, but the red squad coming out. And this is, I believe, the higher seeded team, the undefeated team. So a little bit of what you'd expect to see, Magic, from the 4-0 squad here, looking to reclaim their dominance and spread it across another week here on the Rec League.
Yeah, Bump and Scatter here is on Team Worriers. That's the team with that 3-1 record overall, and they're trying to come back in this round number one. Only 10 seconds down after a big chunk of time was won by Waystation, but here comes the push. 2 players through the window. Didn't even get to see I would have loved to see a melee there, right? Like, one hit with the oddball maybe gives you a chance to get an assist or throw the ball out earlier and be ready to fight, but that approach there, that attack from Waystation, it's just about to win them over this first round. The clock ticks to 100. They're going to take round number one off of the reset.
Yeah, it was a great job re-grabbing that ball after it got played. And I'm watching it soar through the sky, Magic, almost in slow motion, wondering, is it going far enough to cause the delay and disruption? But no, Cobra Squad able to grab that ball right back. Take round one, looking to take souls here to get first blood. A potential triple kill lining up in the sights of Straight Joker. We saw a double from him earlier. Is he going to make it a triple? No, as he goes down on the dummy door, but so too does his opponent. And it's a good start for the red team as they start to score.
Now we have to see if they're going to continue, riding that wave, hang 10 style, grabbing their board and hitting the waves, if they can get back-to-back rounds. Almost a triple kill, 2.5 kills if you're going to count the assist as half, which in my book it always will. But here we see the team in blue is Waystation, the team in red trying to approach. No! Worriers do have something to worry about because the Waystation defensive line is looking up to the task.
Oh, and speaking of defensive line, it was the montage clip almost on display. We're going to just extend it. You can edit that, right? We can edit that, and we'll just include that last snipe like it was for the overkill, the triple narrowly missing. It looked like it connected on the shoulder, but instantly cleaned up by Straight Joker. So talk about no harm, no foul. This is like, what's the opposite of that? Whatever the opposite is
all
of that.
Harm, all fouls?
All harm, all
cards.
fouls here. Absolutely, as Cobra bouncing back off of that, or excuse me, not bouncing back, but continuing off of that great round one win, looking to put a 2-0 on the board here early.
Okay, I want to go back to this analogy of like riding the wave. So if you were going to wake up for a good day of surfing, what all would you grab to get out there and hit the waves?
I'd grab my mouse and keyboard first and foremost, because it looks like that's what Venom is on here. Quite literally riding the wave, the newly buffed mouse and keyboard. And it feels like a wave, doesn't it, Magic? Because we're seeing a lot more, and not only MNK, like if you go to the Halo Infinite directory, but these tournaments, even these competitive tournaments in an esport like Halo that has just been absolutely dominated by controllers for decades and decades and decades. So yeah, if I were to surf, I'd grab that mouse and keyboard because it seems to be what all the cool kids are doing.
All the cool kids do seem to be grabbing the mouse and keyboard, and I love that it's a viable input device here in this matchup. And oh no, Flop. He catches himself in a tough timing on that reload, but it pays off. He comes out with the assist. He's able to fall back to cover, safely reload the weapon. And now look at teammates. All 3 of his teammates are posted up there on C Tower, and he doesn't have any problem. Flop takes down this 1v1 player right in front of him, drops down almost a back smack potential, but the BR will be enough to get an assist. And now 10 seconds down, Waystation is climbing that scoreboard quickly.
And when did the Warriors put 40 on the board? Just as we saw Waystation have a hot start, the Warriors were able to put up 40. But just like that, it's a bounce back and nearly tied here.
Wow.
In the middle goings of this match. Still plenty of time on the clock, Magic. So that means both of these two players are going to be more and more focused on the oddball as this round progresses. It's not quite in that Team Slayer category just yet, as we see Straight Joker up at top snipe continue to score.
Great points on the board here from Joker, and then here are the players on the defense set up at that C tower. Now Bump and Scatter trying to approach. And I think I had it backwards. It looks like Team Worriers is actually the team in blue, and Way Station is the team in red. So my apologies on having that backwards, but J3 with a sniper in hand, looking for a headshot, gets the quick body shot instead, swapping over to that BR, dodging frag grenades, but really locking down this top mid lane. Here comes the incoming fire, but now he's getting pinched from both sides. Repulsor at the ready, great response. It's only gonna be enough for the assist to come through.
Yeah, I love that repulsor. It gave that player a second chance, and although he did not survive the fight, his teammate instantly cleaned up. Essentially, Magic, for what it's worth, it's a trade, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think of trades as like two players meleeing each other or the fourth shot in a battle rifle battle, both landing simultaneously. But I think those are honestly somewhat more to look out for in these competitive Halo matches, is who can trade off of, like, off balance, off kilter as to what occurred on your screen. And that's just like a little extra bonus, not allowing that player to get away, keeping the score as close as you can.
Speaking of keeping the score as close as you can, 5 seconds remaining. Venom trying to lock down the ball. There's the 100, hits the mark, and even though we saw a good response coming back from Worriers, it's not going to be enough. 2-0 ends up as the score line in game number 1.
You know.
I like it. Credit them for their empathy. We're heading into game number 2. Slayer on Aquarius. 1-0 is the series, but Bump and Scatter right off the rip ends up with a nice kill and aware this player up at P2. What a perfectly placed frag grenade to open up the game with 2 kills, and Bump and Scatter are looking for more.
Yeah, that looked like a bounce pass straight out of NBA. That was a wonderful grenade. I love that. Whether it was the awareness or the communication, doesn't matter. The job got done. As Pink goes down, but one thing I noticed, the Bump and Scatter squad did not immediately take advantage of P after that. So P's still there for the taking. In fact, we've got Hoodler pushing down P, but he's not going to escape, as we're seeing a little bit of bounce back, a little bit of fight back here, as the score looks like it's 7-4.
7-4, not quite doubled up on that score line, but a good opening fight. And, you know, Bump and Scatter playing their life really well. Opened up with that 2-0 that we saw, and since then, falling back, cut into the cover. But oh no, dynamo grenades can break up that cover really quick. And so even though we saw all of Warriors clumped up in utility, they get absolutely scattered and then shredded with the use of those dynamos. Now Upsy on the approach, the captain of Way Station, rotating around behind, but the job's already been done, looking for his next target.
Put on board, back on board here, I should say, with Upsy. And talk about a bait and switch opportunity with over his left shoulder. The red team, they've got the bait and switch. They've got the duo ship. Look at that. As we see a little bit of that strategy play out. That's why you run in 2s, ladies and gentlemen, right there. And this might be why you run in 3s. Oh, but no, one of the blue players goes down. So that's a huge trade right there. 3v1 scenario for J3, but he's able to pull off the trade on Hoodler because of that scenario, because of that sequence. I'm going to give him the net positive there in that trade scenario.
Well, the 3 in J3 just stands for not being afraid of being caught in a 1v3, I think, is the rule here.
Like
and now Hoodler, trapped in low ground of yellow utility, comes out with a win, playing cover around this half wall here, and it's going to be enough. A great stall tactic there from Hoodler, preserving that life. Most assists on the board, sitting at 3, and meanwhile, Bump and Scatter was taken down once, and now trying to stay alive, cannot round that corner quick enough. Here comes Venom, looking for the next target, and what was once a 4-point game, now it's just a 3-point game. We're not quite at the halfway point, but camo in the hands of Joker, ready to make a difference.
This is where you need to play. Player low shields, spots him, good looks, takes him down. We've seen straight Joker look really well here so far in this tournament tonight, in this series, but he goes down there. So a great answer back, but still Magic, like you said, still separated that 4 kills, still leaning towards that 1, now 2 possessions, as if straight Joker and the Way Station crew can just keep this one close, they'll be in a much better spot. Remember, they're the better team. They're the 4-0 team. So as long as they can stay in it, as long as they can keep it within 1 possession, I'm expecting a close match.
Oh, I don't know. Warriors might be worried about how they're going to make Way Station feel if they run away with this game, though, because now they have a 5-point lead. They're looking very strong. This is going to be the test, though. We're reaching that midpoint of the game. We did see them lose that last camo to Joker. I think next camo spawn could just shift again that tide of momentum one way or the other. Here's the fight. Phantom is laying down fire, but Phantom is not able to clean up that kill. And on the run, able at one hit to finish off a kill. That's a killing spree. Great plays here from Worriers as they hold on to this advantage.
And speaking of advantage, Magic, it's the 2x nearly advantage in assists for the Warriors. It's been the difference here. And we talked about the way these teams form, whether through 2 duos or with a solo player. And this is why it's so, I think, crucial. I'm not sure if this team is formed with 2 duos, but it just looks like it. Based on the way they've moved around the map, dropped into gunfights together, played the same gunfights, shot the same thing, the Warriors looking like they've got the better teamwork and they've got the assists to show for it.
The assists are such a key factor, especially in a game mode like Slayer, and Hoodler right there up against the heat wave, not able to stay alive, waiting to see if maybe the assist does come through because he did a lot of damage to that heat wave player. No assist is going to be counted for that one. Joker cleans up a kill. Has a nice positive score so far, trying to use some grenades to cover his back as he rotates back to top mid. And look at this positioning here. This is where it becomes a worry for the Warriors team because Waystation have Car 3 and P2 both locked down. They seem to have this map locked down.
Yeah, I love the pushback there from Straight Joker. Getting that parallel fight going across P. As he left the bubble, went back to it, and that's where he died. So clearly, the decision, the right play was their top mid shooting with his teammates. And now an opportunity here for the Warriors to take advantage of the miscue.
We saw Flop with some huge kills earlier, including that killing spree, leading the way across the board with the most slays with 12. Being a key factor in the reason why the Warriors have this lead. Although it's a little bit tighter than they would like, they had a significant lead. Now it is cut down to 3. Flop off of that beautiful takedown, rotating top mid, has great shots on the P2. One target though, and it's Light attacking a Hydra. When he took off one head, 2 more spawned in its place.
And this camo becomes even more consequential as we're into the 30s. Close. Not quite tied, but we could be. If Cobra is able to grab control of that camo, I think we just saw it sneak off the edge. Not gonna pop it here. I like the delayed pop there, getting around the corner, but you gotta stay still there because the trajectory of your position around the map is predicted at that point, never once stopping to break that timing and flow and reason for the other team. That's why they were able to get the jump on that player despite them having camo. Now we're seeing a little bit of a reset, taking over control of P, taking out one of his opponents. Looking into the fridge for more than just a snack as the assist goes down. 3 go down for the Warriors, and now Waystation looking at control.
Waystation have won back-to-back camos. In fact, Joker himself with camo 2 times in a row is really helping Waystation to look like they are in the fight of this game. Here's Joker on the rotation, grabbing some dynamos, has the frags at the ready, and if he can find his target, wow, that player was absolutely collapsed on from the Warriors. And now Joker finds 2 more in utility. He has damage on both, isn't able to clean up either of the kills.
A little bit of the high-low strategy there as the opponent hit from both sides. That might leave a couple bumps and bruises as it's 38-36, Waystation with the slight lead. And this is where, if you're the Warriors, this is where you start to get a little worried because it looks like the Waystation crew is up for the task. It looks like they're here to give you that first loss. About to find out if we're going to see that first loss in the series in just a few. The triple going down for Hoodler, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered.
Oh, that was a beautiful timing, but it's just a 1-point game right now. Waystation somehow off of that deficit from mid-game to late game have clawed and climbed their way back. A lot of it due to the use of that camo in the hands of Joker, but now's the answer back. Hoodler able to finish off this kill where he wasn't maybe before, and now Flop rotating through. He knows there's a player trapped here at the back of the base. That kill was cleaned up. Eye into top mid. One player coming around to their right side, a blue fridge actually. So they can single off that player. They're gonna be in good shape. It looks like Bump and Scatter is gonna do just that. And now the 1-point lead back in the hands of Warriors, but can they hang on to it in these final minutes?
Bump and Scatter there with the opening break kill. Stays alive, re-shields, gets another one on Straight Joker. Giving his team, keeping it in that narrow 1-kill lead. That Dino should tick. No, look at, oh my goodness.
Wow.
The player, I thought they would have at the very least gotten slowed down by the tick of the Dynamo. I don't think a single fraction of that grenade was able to connect. As Flop looking to reconnect. He goes down to no shields, but his teammate picks it up. That's great teamwork there on Car as they look to collapse here on the generator.
Here comes the approach. That collapse you were talking about, Flop. He full sends it into the melee cleanup, and now a 3-point lead for the Warriors, wanting to tie up this series, but Flop finding a little bit more. I love this patience from Warriors. They go get a kill or two, but then they fall back in order to regroup instead of overextending. But Flop, even though he had the thruster, he wasn't able to activate it quite in time to get to cover. Hoodler, however, cleans up a kill, giving them just 2 points away from this win as Phantom sitting back in their own generator, just firing warning shots, as it were, across the map. They only need 2 last picks, but how aggressive do they need to be in order to get them?
I don't think they need to be that aggressive. I think they need to just trade out here, really. And we saw a few of those go down. That works there. Catch the opponent lacking and put them in the sleeping bag.
Woo!
As it looks like that 50th kill will connect, and the Warriors don't look now, ladies and gentlemen, but we have a series, and it looks like Warriors wouldn't be Warriors without a little bit of bump and scatter. We saw him play really well, hopping on board here this time with Hoodler instead, as he goes for the trade, but no, that top A gonna be held down by an opponent from Waystation instead, as they look to put the first touch on this hill.
All right, this is the King of the Hill recharge. I said, you know, this might be the map and mode that is keeping me out of Onyx. I still struggle on this map and mode, but you know who's not struggling on this map? It's Waystation. They already have some significant time on that first hill and control of all the goodies. Here comes Venom with the shock rifle. I love the quick body shot, and then immediately rotating, a quick movement there to try to get back to cover. Now we're on board with J3, lead slayer of the game with 3 living up to his name. Bump and scatter rotating. Okay, now we see the answer back, right? Early control by Waystation. Now Warriors, they are clawing their way right back into this first hill.
Yeah, and up until that very moment in time, it was a really efficient start for Waystation. It wasn't necessarily that they had more kills. I believe at the time it was 6-6 in kills, but it doesn't matter at this point because the Warriors have answered back. They put 3 down in the feed, well, not once, but now twice, as they double up on the score.
Doubling up the score on that hill is so crucial. Hoodler tried to connect with the shock rifle, ends up with the trade, the official trade coming through, but it was enough for a killing spree to show what that impact was from Hoodler in the second stages of this hill capture. But now nobody on the hill. There's the touch from Waystation as Venom tries to give some coverage here from Whirlpool. There's a player on C stairs locking target across the map, but they can't flush him off. It's Bump and Scatter, and he is locking down that C platform, so crucial on this first hill. And there it goes, flipping over to Warriors. And I have to say, Bump and Scatter, C plat was the defensive line to hold that first hill.
Jeez. And it was a pretty even game in terms of kills, but we're starting to see Bump and Scatter not only outslay their opponents, but they're putting it on the scoreboard as well. Most importantly, in these King of the Hills, sometimes we see teams a little overslay, especially on a recharge, a map that's very truncated and small. Yeah. Sometimes you overslay a little bit, but it's been the efficient play from really both teams, because even at one point, Waystation tied in kills, had half the score on the board, but ever since then, it's been all Warriors.
Warriors had the first time on second hill, as well as Bump and Scatter had rotated to glass for some of that defensive control, but now here comes the answer back. The melee's coming through. Venom with a nice double kill. Trying to stay alive now. Maybe looking for a triple. He spots out Phantom on the top of Attic and Glass, and oh, that first frag looked really good. That's gonna give Phantom a tough position, and here's Upsy watching for Phantom. If he peeks Glass, he's gonna find that fight. Here comes the incoming fire, and Phantom is caught between a rock and a hard place. Here's the flank from J3, perfectly timed. This hill is all but one for Waystation.
Attention on the hill, not on J3 at Glass, and that's where it needed to be, because he took advantage of the awareness, or I should say lack of, to score that double kill. J3 looking really strong here with 9 kills. Approaching the first to crack that double-digit threshold, but look at this. It's an answer back. just like that, sneaking in that score are the Warriors to tie it up here at 1. And this one feels extremely even so far, Magic. We saw a little bit of topsy-turvy action, almost the Waystation boys running away with it, but now Warriors looking like they did at the beginning, answering back.
I'm still watching, like, Upsy just dropped the shock rifle with plenty of ammo left. I'm wondering if he's dropping it for a teammate to pick up, but I think the shock rifle might still be there on the stairs. But Upsy, oh no, caught in a tough reload. Here comes just a wave of force. All 4 players, in fact, from the Warriors are storming the castle, and they stole that shock rifle. Look at how much ammo, 24, that's 8 bursts of damage. Only 1 needs to connect. If you're gonna hit that perfect headshot, instead, Hoodler's gonna have to settle for the body shot and the assist that comes with it.
23 kills total for the Warriors, 25 for Waystation. But one of the things I'm noticing for the Warriors, very even again once in kills, but when the Warriors get kills, it's in groups, it's in bunches, 2, 3, sometimes all 4. Haven't quite seen all 4 go down just yet for Warriors. Instead, they're putting on a little bit of a clinic on Waystation and putting that second hill on the board.
Second hill is so crucial to take that tie away. 3-1 would be pretty decisive. Ooh. Oh, but Hoodler lines up the perfect shot. That's what makes the shock rifle so satisfying to watch.
That was a very difficult shot. It really had no reference of centering or pre-aim there. It kind of hit the player as they were falling in that little corner. Looking like Dobby going down. Being a nuisance. Not enough, though. As the sticky... I was about to say, did we not get a trade there? We do. So we see 2 go down from Warriors. 1 only for Waystation. And for Waystation, this is your opportunity with numbers. Got to take advantage of it. But no, Venom goes down in the hill, giving up the hill. As it looks like Ups looking to now defend his honor. The repulsor, almost a pancake, Magic. Would love to see that medal here with you tonight. And Flop gets the back smack. So Flop, okay. The awareness for Warriors, like I said, they're getting the other team, they're getting Waystation down in bunches, and they're getting those 50-50 balls as well.
Yo, Flop was so impressive in game number 2, and now game number 3 showing us more of the same. 12 slays and just some smart rotation to get that back smack. Can't survive this fight. A little bit of a 1v2 action. He's taken down, and now Waystation, they're storming the castle. We've seen every hill go like 1-1-1, like every other. They seem like they're taking turns like they learned in kindergarten. And Waystation are trying to take their turn on this hill. And Hoodler with the perfect, though. That's the first opening pick if they can snowball off of it. But they have to deal with the repulsor player. There's the takedown. I think they're going to win this fight. There's still a player at B-Box, though. It's Venom being an absolute nuisance. But he's taken down as well.
Hoodler doing a great job there as the last player alive for the Warriors. Extended a little bit toward that turbine, snuck in, and then he started doing some damage. Was able to flip the fortune, take 3 down for Waystation as 3 go down once again. And the Warriors get this hill, get the second hill to tie it up again at 2. Magic, we could not be any more back and forth.
I love it. I love it. Okay, maybe, you know, King of the Hill recharge started to grow on me a little bit. I love to see it back and forth and back and forth. This fight's so crucial for that early control of the hill. And Flop is taken down. Phantom trying to rotate. That's all 4 down for Warriors. Now Waystation, they can get that early time. And more importantly, set up their defensive hold with Venom going up to heaven, now dropping down to what I like to call Dorito. He's watching Attic and Gold Pipes, but he needs to be careful. Rounding the corner with low health. A little too early, a little too eager. Flop makes him pay.
2-2 on the scoreboard. Was 2-2 in the kill feed, but not for long as Waystation go down in bunches once again. That's why we're starting to see a little bit of that separation for the Warriors as they start to inch by inch take over. And this last hill is so crucial. Now, it would be even more crucial at about the 157 game clock mark, but with 2:57 left, this game still has plenty of time, but still, this is one of those anchor reset hills because I believe it goes back to bottom mid after this. Like, could be wrong, but
yes, no, you're correct. You're correct. Hill number 5 resets back to the top of the order, which is bottom mid.
So yeah, so this is huge because that bottom mid hill is gonna eat up that extra minute that we're looking at because of the kind of frenetic nature of bodies just kind of flying in and out of that bottom mid hill. But first, it's gonna have to be this hill on needles. for Warriors if they want to score, but this is looking like a little bit of bounce back for Waystation. They have control. They have numbers. Don't look now. They might be coming back.
Well, they have 3 players on the hill, but now Venom's going to rotate. Flop is going to top of A, but look at 2 players from Waystation ready to trap, and Flop in trouble, but that is such a high priority target to take down Flop. He's the kill leader in the game right now, so the fact that they sent 2 players to make sure he didn't start to run away with some kills is such a smart answer back, and they're still adding to that with kill after kill as they locked that hill down.
So impressive from Waystation, and this is why they haven't lost yet in the Halo Rec League. The ability to respond to the adversity. Just when it looked like the Warriors had locked down that Needles Hill, that crucial Needles Hill before sending it to bottom mid, it's the Waystation crew quite literally picking up the trash, just whatever scraps they could get from the dumpster, as that's why they were able to put that 3rd hill on the board. Looking to close it out here with that bottom mid hill and number 4.
It doesn't always have to look pretty. Sometimes scraps are all you need to capture a hill or to win a game. And right now, Waystation, they're living off of the scraps. You know, yeah, hey, that kind of lives up to their name, the Waystation. They're happy to pick up scraps where they can find them as a grenade comes through from Joker for a takedown. Here comes Venom on the rush, and such great awareness to know that he had the damage to get the melee kill without trading out his life.
I always think there's a little something to name identity and, you know, leaning into a little bit. So maybe that's the rallying call for this Waystation crew is, doesn't matter if it's, you know, how it looks. Maybe we prefer dirty. It would be their slogan. So I'm just coming up with it off the top of the head. But Waystation doing a great job. And that momentum from that Needles Hill, almost a backbreaker for the Warriors because they have not been able to really put up the same fight that we saw previously, as Waystation on the verge of taking a 2-1 lead in the series.
Okay. Here might be one of the first times we're seeing an answer back from the side of Worriers. Flop is getting back to work. They double teamed him earlier, and you can see why. Double teaming him yet again to take him down, but Hoodler is the last surviving member of that Warriors team, and as he is eliminated, we're gonna see a chunk of time coming through yet again for Waystation. It doesn't have to look pretty if it gets the job done, and J3, shock rifle in hand, is getting the job done. Seconds going across, but oh my goodness, a last second stop now from Warriors. They need to play perfectly to hold this hill, and it's not gonna be enough.
Waystation. And what
so if they can send one more player on the side of Warriors along with Flop, now you turn that double team into a 2v2, and you might just be able to come out with the wins that they need.
And I think it's very important for Flop here to alert his teammates that attention's on me, right? Like, let your teammates know that it's okay to peek, because a lot of times one of your teammates might be one shot and they don't want to peek because of it. If you can get that comment that the attention is not on them, it's laser locked on you, then that's going to open up some opportunities. That's the comms difference that you really need to win in Halo Infinite.
The comms difference could make all of the difference. Right here, we're on Strongholds, game number 5, and J3 with that overshield is happy to take the 1v1. Keep your eyes out though. Plasma pistol definitely is in play, can counter that overshield oh so quickly, but J3 with the use of the OS does capture C, giving Waystation the zone advantage, but the fight here now on A side, and what a great takedown. Waystation should be able to keep that zone locked down, and with it, they're adding more points to the scoreboard.
Yeah, and I really like Jay's decision there to continue to capture C, despite the fact that it overshield. It wasn't enough though. It was just barely little, just a sliver of overshield left. Not enough to where you'd want to send him out on almost like a hunting mission, right? There's not enough overshield there to take advantage of the slaying prowess. So to lock in on that objective instead is huge, and it's an objective that they still, has just now flipped, but scoring still in their favor as 2 go down for Warriors.
2 going down for Warriors after they were just off of a team wipe, and it looks like almost back-to-back team wipes for them, but here comes the answer back. The triple cap from Waystation. It has to be desperate times, and Worriers, though, they're trying to contest on A and C at the same time. Luckily, they do flip C over, although they lost the fight at A, and with it, they don't have much position for this overshield attack. Joker's gonna win out the overshield. Just a nick of time, but honestly, good little melt there. Joker's overshield is gone. He did get a kill from it.
Yeah, Hoodler not able to take down Joker, but did take down that overshield. Give him some points there for that. I don't know if an assist is 0.3. What's that from Hoodler? Like a 0.17 maybe?
Sure, that seems fair. I like it.
But nonetheless, Straight Joker still alive, still continuing that average life. So despite losing the overshield, he hasn't lost his life just yet. Tossing that sticky grenade out, hoping it might connect. But no, move on board with his teammate at the garage, and that garage is going to shut down, shut closed, as a triple cap is now a potential here for Waystation. No, flop once again, playing so well, shutting down any chance of a triple cap there as Ups look to have it in the bag.
They look to have it in the bag indeed, and they have to make sure it comes all the way through to fruition. Phantom being taken down is a tough loss, and 3 down now for the Worriers. They got to wait for the respawns, and this is where just the nerves play in, right? You have to be able to watch the clock ticking against you, but still maintain the restraint to wait for those respawners. An opening pick, though, is definitely going to help, not just boost the morale, but hopefully give you a footing for those respawns.
Yeah, there it is. That 1 foot NC has turned into a +1 on the scoring. But just like that, A goes into favor of Waystation. And this is something I see from a lot of top teams, Magic, is just as you see that glimmer of hope, you see that little window of scoring opportunity, those 2 caps, maybe those even 3 good teams, they just take it right back. They don't allow you to really see that score tick up too much, especially in the instances where the other team has 3. Seeing a little bit of that from Waystation, as even when Warriors get something, Waystation isn't letting them get a lot.
Keep them at as limited of a gain as possible. As sometimes, you know, when we talk about the scrappy play from Waystation in game number 3, sometimes just preventing a score for as long as possible is all that you can do, like milking your life. And wow, Hoodler was melted at the bottom of C. Super unfortunate, but it does leave teammates. Oh, there's the repulsor in hand. There's the mind the gap. One more repulse to work with.
Let's go!
Mind the gap. If you're
Oh my God.
Repulsor in play yet again. Does he get 3 kills with the use of repulsor? All right, 2.5.
Almost just borderline disrespectful there. You didn't have to repulsor all 3 of them. My goodness. As 2 go in the drink. And now a little bit of scoring here for the Warriors. Doing a good job answering back. But again, will they be able to sustain it? Will Waystation negate one of these 2 points? As that's a catcher's curse, both of them. Start to see a little bit of scoring instead. It's just going to be C here. But if they can prevent this, a little bit of an opportunity. This could be good for Warriors, but they've got to prevent them from getting C, and they do just that. So the Warriors, despite having 2 down, are showing some wonderful objective efficiency.
And bump and scatter, you know, I thought he was going to rotate A or rotate back to C, but instead, with the use of that sniper, is playing some lockdown defense. The flank does come through from Waystation, but Warriors still have the numbers, so I think they're going to contest here. Here comes Flop back in the action. He pauses that capture, but there's too many players for him to deal with. He's not able to do much impact and damage before he is taken down, and just like that, Waystation are back to winning over the time. Attention shifting briefly to the overshield. Warriors need this. They could mount a rush on A, but they need that overshield in hand to do so.
And this is that point in the game where it's like, it's tough because the scores, it's close, but the Warriors are in need of points. So the question is, do you play for that overshield? Do you play for the captures? Sometimes playing for overshield allows you to play for both, as we're seeing that strategy deployed. I think we saw bump and scatter with the overshield, still working with it. Secured C with it, pushing around the map into A now. And look at that. It's a lot of blue on the screen in a game where we haven't really seen a lot of blue. So it looks like the Warriors, we were asking, can they come back? Can they stop the bleeding? And they're doing just that.
A lot of blue on the kill feed, a lot of blue on the captures. A and B now in the hands of the Warriors. Flop here at the back of B, playing defense, helping out. I love that play. Not worrying about the player right next to him, but instead team firing, oh so crucial. But can he regen his shield in time? He had the help though. Teammates coming through. 3 are down now for Waystation. The last player here at the back of B. The melee's off, but what a survive from Venom. That play, I'm gonna mark down the timestamp. 7-10 might just have been the game-winning play if Venom can stay alive, flipping B over.
Yeah, we saw Hoodler with the last player alive play that really made them competitive in that last match. Now it's Ups staying alive, and that was just huge. It looked like Flop, a player that we've seen secure clutch kill after clutch kill, just the one that he couldn't. And the consequence of it, that B should be theirs already. They shouldn't be having to worry about capping it right now. But instead, it's Waystation who's going to have to worry about Flop because he's got that heat wave.
Woo!
3 in the bank, 4 potentially no, as that last player alive on A. And that should cause the entire team to spawn here at A and potentially push out here towards the B.
Love that triple kill coming through, and Flop really living up to the hype. You know, we've been hyping him up a lot, but well earned with the 20 kills he has on the board. Here comes Phantom along the way. Look at the rotation. That's the team fire, but team fire does nothing against a repulsor. Impressive that Flop had the presence of mind to finish off that kill even as he was being launched into the drink.
Bump and scatter, got to be careful here. He's going to get that overshield baby down because he's got opponents in 3 different locations, triangulating his location, his coordinates, spotting him and taking him down easily. It's a massive overshield takedown. And Magic, that's the thing. If you're not going to win the overshield, if you can play good defense and negate it from getting those 2, 3, 4, however many kills, that's almost as good as getting it, right? Because it's the opportunity cost and the resources that team had to use or gave up in this instance to get that overshield. So a great play there from Waystation despite not getting the overshield.
This B capture is so crucial right now for Flop and the rest of the team because they are getting closer and closer, inching up on that red zone, that danger zone of points. At one moment, all 3 zones were getting flipped. Now we see A and C trading sides. I tell you what, if you're the team that has B on lockdown, you're happy to trade A and C all day. But Hoodler is taken down. He had that defensive position in Nest. That could be the opening pick that Waystation needs. And it looks like their approach, instead of going to B, they're cutting across the middle. They're going straight to A instead. They have the sniper in hand. J3 is dealing out the BR damage. He comes just 1 burst short of clutching up that kill.
That was so close. And those feel like those swing moments a little bit, as we're starting to see the Warriors swing this one back in their favor, making this one closer and closer and closer. And in Magic, in Strongholds, that's all you really need to do is just stick around. One of the differences between King of the Hill, which is very close, almost like the cousin of this game type. Speaking about King of the Hill, though, it's a very difficult game type to come back from, right? You get those 3-0 lead. It's just, it might as well be over. But here in Strongholds, it could be 249 to 1, and that team might come back. Is it going to be the case here for Warriors? I guess for now, it's something for Waystation to worry about.
Oh, it's something to worry about for Flop was the plasma pistol, that counter to the overshield. Perfectly played there by Team Waystation, and that loss on A, that's gonna cost them. Once we hit that 200-point mark, I consider that the red zone on Strongholds, and they are inching up on it. There it is, crossing the scoreboard as the kill comes through at the back of tower. Flop now, and the rest of Team Warriors need to almost desperate for these hills, but they're getting picked off one at a time.
Super unfortunate there. I think Flop thought he had the kill in the feed, turned, looked away, and even though he's on mouse and keyboard, it was that extra split second turning back to his opponent, but it was too late. And now it might be too late for the Warriors, as we're seeing 3 tick up in red for Waystation. Good defense there on B. But now Warriors are going to have to worry about A or C if they want to stop this series from being over.
It looks like they're putting pressure on both sides. Hoodler kind of overextended to C. He is taken down, but he did buy some time, rather, for the rest of the team. But, that heat wave on the flank. So deadly, so dangerous. Looks like it's in the hands of J3, and now he cleared a path. They captured A. The clock continues to tick. It is dangerous now. Only seconds left for them to take this win, but right away, Warriors, great response. They hop on C, and now the fight has shifted back to that familiar location on B side.
And the B capture point in the hands of Waystation once again, with the potential to close it out, but no. I'm liking the scrappiness. Talking about the scrappiness from Waystation, I'm liking the scrappiness from Warriors here. Not going out without a fight, but they're going to need to take down the opponent here at A. 2v1, the overshield.
Oh,
So you've got
no.
the tools. Well, you've got to, if you're overshield, you got to push out at A. Let your teammate here secure that cap point and start pushing to B.
We saw that earlier when Flop had the overshield, that he let a teammate get the capture. Unfortunately, he ran into the plasma pistol, so even though he overextended with overshield, it wasn't enough. But AC now in the hands of the Warriors, and three down for the side of Waystation. Are Warriors back in this game?
3 going down for each, and oh my goodness, if the Warriors could have maintained their numbers advantage there, it could have been numbers scored for them. But instead, Waystation answer back always, time after time after time, across all of the games here in the series, not just in this match on Livefire. We see the Warriors look like they're about to make a play, about to make a move, but no, Waystation shutting it down, and potentially their hopes of winning this game and extending the series. But just like that, that's exactly what we're talking about. Here we go. The Warriors now have control and are scoring once again.
I was so stressed because the A capture was sitting there at like 95% captured, and then nothing happened. And then they hopped back on. They cleared off the capture. Fight back on B side. That is going to find its mark. The assist coming through. But no, Waystation, they flip over B. Now we're kind of scrambling on the side of the Warriors. Phantom can't find anything. He's taken down. 15 seconds left for Waystation to take this series. And now as they're putting pressure on A as well, this game is all but over.
And it's the finishing touches, like a fresh coat of red paint on a Corvette, because that's what Waystation's looking like here, as they're going to continue their undefeated streak. Magic moving on to, I believe it's 5-0.